Fuck it. I mean, sorry.
Oh, there's some good opening words.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pre-warm-up for Yelling at Park Cars with our host, Showback. So not Shelly.
Let's get ready to rumble. Okay.
Weak.
Bonesaw is ready.
You are
right.
all crazy assholes.
Yeah, see, Blue-Eyed Roof Korean has got it. Yeah. F it. Do it live.
Yeah. Fuck it, we're doing it live. Yeah. Anyway, welcome, one and all, to the third episode of the warm up, the Yelling at Park Cars warm up. A title that I took the liberty of appropriating from Comics Division, and then
he can afford to give it to you. I mean, fuck.
And slapping the two words "warm up" on the ass end of it. But if you're new, it's and you don't know anything about either show, we just do this kind of the same thing that they do over there, current events and whatnot. So tonight I wanted to talk about the price at the pump, Russia, China, Putin, Biden, Xi, Pooh Bear.
I don't understand what your problem is with them show back. They are all wonderful people. They are marvelous people. Stop worrying about your freedoms. Just get on board with the China Express. Just do it.
Fuck his opinions and fuck his freedoms. I mean, I was so trying to come out here and be the good one on this stream, but we're talking about topics that breeze my ire, and fuck it, I'm gonna swear. Fuck it.
Yeah. There's no swear jar on this channel.
Oh, thank God. Otherwise, I'd go broke in about 10 minutes. What? Fuck.
No. So anyway, I don't know. I guess hopefully people will start filing in here.
Yeah, we've seen Darius was already in the chat. Blue-Eyed Roof Korean, the Based in the chat. The Helium 29, what up? Brahma's Bullpen. What's going on, Brahma? Blair the Blair's in the house, and Bone is in the house. What's up, Bone?
Yeah. Ooh, I like saying what's up to Bones. I mean,
yeah,
I know you do, Rosetta.
Hey-o.
Stay on target.
Right.
That's what she said.
See, I don't know. I mean, the little counter, that tells me how many people are in here. I don't know.
Never pay attention to it.
I don't know whether to believe that or not.
It is almost always wrong. I've had that thing literally tell me before. I had one person in the stream while I had 15 people talking to each other.
Yeah.
Fuck that number. It's always full of bullshit.
It's the same thing with Stream Elements. You look at Stream Elements when you get done, they'll give you a number that's completely different than what you actually seen. That is nothing unusual.
But so anyway, gas prices. Contrary to what the media, the mainstream media would tell you, this is not Putin's fault. Don't blame Putin. Okay, don't blame Russia.
He's got plenty of other things to be blamed for, but the gas prices is not it.
That's the exact thing we were talking about in the back. I mean, this bullshit with Zaki coming onto a public address and saying that it's all Putin's fault. Like, where were all these stupid automatons earlier when the gas prices were already soaring, when the prices at the grocery stores were already going up? People don't want to go back to work still to this day.
They were screaming about shots and telling people to wear masks.
Or Rosetta, my wife was out the other day and she was trying to do some shopping, and a few of the places she normally would go to shop were closed down. Why? Because they couldn't get anybody to work there. And how did that start? That started with Biden. Well, let's just keep throwing money out to these people. And people were like, well, why the hell should I work when I could just stay home and do nothing? And part of that is maybe, part of the reason why prices started going up, because these places don't have enough people to work there. And then the Democrats are telling them, you need to increase wages. You need to increase wages. Now the prices go up a little bit more. And as all this shit kept spiraling out of control with all this COVID crap and everything else, the prices just kept soaring. And now they have a new boogeyman. Since people are tired of hearing about COVID, they got the new boogeyman to pin everything on, which is Putin. Guess what? Those freaking prices raising and going up were already there prior to this shit happening. So stop trying to give this bullshit speech that it's all because of him. Because if it was, it shouldn't affect us anyway to begin with. Number one, this jerk-off canceled that freaking pipeline from Canada, denying Americans jobs, denying freaking Canada the chance to send fuel back and forth. But let's go ahead and let's punish Russia, because that's the way to make them suffer. So what does that say about this fucking administration? That the first thing they want to do is punish the people that are in this country before they ever worried about somebody overseas. So don't even give me that bullshit.
That was Keystone, right? The Keystone.
I will bite my tongue on Keystone. Keystone is a lot more complicated than both sides have made it out to be, and it was shut down repeatedly by the courts for actually breaking the law repeatedly. So
but you see what I'm saying, though, Rosetta.
Yeah, I'm saying that the hypocrisy is there, but Keystone was also fucking bullshit, and that pissed me off. The right just sucked at that teat when the only purpose of Keystone was to build a pipeline through this country to go from Canada to Mexico. We didn't mean shit to them. I'm just fact on that, but yeah, that was when it pissed me off so much, because there is so much. And that was where I started really wanting to strangle the living fuck out of every Hollywood douchebag out there, because there were legitimate issues going on with the reservations, with violating treaties, with all this other stuff. And instead of actually letting that be heard, they had to come in with their little whiny twat parade and make it all about oil and trash the land and everything else. And nobody heard fucking thing about what was really going on, because it all became about which Hollywood elitist could suck his own dick the hardest. Sorry.
Probably the one that's most flexible and anyway. No.
I'm sorry. That is one thing that's pissed me off, because I watched it in real life. That's my family in that area. I saw the bullshit that was happening, and I saw Hollywood making it harder for that to actually be heard, because they wanted to politicize something that was not fucking political.
Wasn't that right around the same time period that they were all taking responsibility?
That was in the same time period when they were all out there patting themselves on the back and claiming they cared about natives, while they were trashing our land and telling us we're to blame for everything they fucking do wrong. Fuck Hollywood, by the way.
Here's another one for that, Rosetta. You remember the whole shit that went down with the Washington Redskins? And the thing that they said how demeaning it was to Native Americans, yet they glossed over the whole thing, that it was a Native American that came up with that freaking original icon badge that they used. It was a Native American coach
that they named the team after.
Right.
And it was named after the Oklahoma tribe name for Brave. Now, again, yes, has that term been used as a racial slur? Yes, but over 95% of natives, guess what, support that name because of where it came from. Here's the other thing for you. Here's a worse one for you. Fuck the redskin thing. Here's one to tell you about that was buried in the media. There was a school that is on borderline between South Dakota and North Dakota in one of the reservations. This is right on the edge of the res, and it's about 95% of the school is native. But part of the school is off the rest property onto the city property next to it. So it's literally split between two places. This school had a mascot that was literally called the Fighting Sioux. This was done up as a brave from the tribe. The federal government forced them to get rid of their own culture's mascot in order to get the federal funding required to give them by law. I'm not kidding.
Nice.
So yeah, let's talk about the bullshit that they sit there and pander to us and go, oh, you should be offended. You fucking made them take their own culture away, you fuckers.
Right.
That's more offensive by far.
You just made me think of this, for lack of a better term, this joke that I've been hearing. When they took away, Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben and
the Land O'Lakes girl.
Yeah, the Land O'Lakes girl. That's what I'm getting to.
Oh, Land O'Lakes is turned to shit anyways. Their products are getting worse too.
They removed the Indian from the freaking packaging, but they kept the land.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there was, in fact, I remember back with Williams and Ree and the tribal stuff growing up, when they were pissed when I was a child, that they literally, the people in the tribe no longer wanted to support Pontiac because they removed cheap Pontiac. And that was why are you taking away something that represented us to the culture and made people remember we're still around? And that was literally the argument from the tribe is, we're pissed that you took it away. We like it. And that was my childhood. And that was watching that happen in real time on multiple reservations. But no, we have to listen to a whole bunch of elitist white Hollywood douchebags and Washington jackwagons tell us what should and shouldn't offend us. I'm sorry. We call each other. They could not survive a day in my parents' house. Listening to my mom and my dad call each other everything from Casper and Snowflake to Scalp Collector and TP Creeper and stuff. Hell, they literally called me their pale skin scalp collecting TP Creeper as a kid. I mean, there's no shame in my family. None. We make fun of each other racially as a mixed family. It was fine.
I got to remember that one. TP Creeper.
I tell you what, I think, Rosetta, you're really going off the deep end on this one, and I hope you're going to be okay. But let us know if we got to send you some fire water so you can calm down.
Yeah. I've never drank in my life.
See? You're no fun.
Here's the thing for you. I am a native Irish person, and I have never drank in my life.
There's some
There is some fucked up failure to live up to stereotypes there, isn't there?
Absolutely. I seen a couple of people in the chat shell back that brought up some good points. TL29 brought up both the leader of the Ukraine and Russia are both considered young global leaders of the WEF. Absolutely true. TL also said even Claus, Anal Schwab, is a terrible actor. Yeah, absolutely. And they'll milk this manufactured crisis for as long as they can. They need a reason to keep printing and allowing inflation to keep going. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people are missing. And they don't realize the depths that this is actually going to take this economy. I mean, you thought it was bad under Obama when we had that freaking tremendous crash. This is going to be worse. This is going to be much worse.
Well, it's a Build Back Better, or I think Biden's calling it now Build Back America. But it's going to be
he took the same shit that Trump used, and now he's using it himself, but it's okay for him to use it because he's not Trump.
Yeah, but it'd be one of those.
What happened to appropriation? I mean, he's not the same race as Trump. Isn't he appropriating his stuff now?
Well,
just saying, and I don't like either of them, but just saying, come on. Let's be consistent here. If you're going to say your bullshit for one side, it has to apply equally to all sides. Fuck your opinions.
Well, he's doing the Build Back Better propaganda, and so he can do what the fuck he likes. Or they'll let him do what the fuck he likes, as long as you got going along with the Build Back program.
And Stephen Ransom Cicino, I hope I'm saying that somewhat decently, has a solution. If Rosetta, if you get a little too riled up, during this live stream, we will smoke them peace pipe.
I have a clay made peace pipe.
No, the only thing I need to calm me down is my husband, but that involves some other stuff. I mean,
the first glance I took at this, I thought it said toxic ho-ho. I'm like, what the hell's a toxic?
Yeah. That would be most of the e-thoughts there.
Yeah, we need some of them.
The e-thoughts.
I mean, like toxic ho-ho would be like, Britney Spears meets Little Debbie or something.
No, I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a ho-ho cupcake with a whole bunch of testosterone in it.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's
pictures of
ma'am.
RoboCop.
So wait,
pictures of
Tommy.
RoboCop on the packaging.
So Tommy, wait. The ho-ho has taken more cream, and that's made it toxic.
Apparently.
See, hoes, you're taking too much cream. I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
No,
if she ain't creaming, you ain't doing something right. That's all I'm going to say.
no, I meant they're taking too much in them from someone else. But anyway, man milk. Drink it up, girls. I mean,
hail TMF. TMF is in the house.
and this is when Shellback's wondering, why the fuck did I invite this woman again?
Right? No. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's better than dead air.
Here's a question for you, Shellback. I mean, seeing as the way the prices have been going up right now, how far do you think they're going to go by the time they get around the summer, huh?
Well, dude, I don't know. Like I said, you know, like it's been like a couple of weeks ago, approximately, since I filled up, right? You know, little 2002 Honda Civic with a whopping, I don't know, 13 to 15 neighborhood gallon gas tank, right? And you know, I drop a 50 in it, you know. When from empty to full, I drop a $50 bill in there, and I never thought when I bought this car, I never ever thought I would be putting $50 worth of gas into it at once.
I do actually remember just before this douchewad took office, we actually got to a point where with my little car, because yeah, I will admit it, I have a tiny little car because that's what functions for me having to travel a fuck ton for my artwork because of gas.
Big girl in a little car. Big girl in a little car.
I fit just fine in it anyway. But I actually got to a point where this just under 8-gallon tank could actually be filled for $12 or so.
Right.
And it wasn't that hard to fill the tank and drive all day and do a bunch of hikes and do a bunch of exploring and get my photos and stuff and pay like $10 for the whole day, you know? And now I'm lucky if I'm paying $10 to drive to the neighboring city and pick up some stuff. Fucking hell.
Hey, Tommy, you know, she may have a little car, but it's got 3 driver's side airbags, okay? One in the steering wheel.
Fuck you, Shellback. Fuck you.
Well, you know,
I can tell you though how high the fuel prices are going to go. They're going to go so high that the food and everything else that like petrol is used for and that, as in like for deliveries and everything.
Yep.
It'll just make everyone go onto benefits.
Well,
but that's the thing. Also, the benefits are not going to cover the fucking difference, and that goes right back to what Takai said.
Rosetta. I think what Jens is getting at, and he's actually hit it right on the head right here, is as these prices for fuel go up, all these companies that are delivering their products are going to have to raise the prices of all their products. When they in turn raise the prices of all their products, the fuel companies are going to start raising their prices some more too. It's a never-ending cycle of inflation.
I agree with that part. My point is, the benefits are never going to cover the difference. And that goes right back to the fucking bullshit that Takai was spouting off, running his fucked up, douchebaggy old mouth with, and saying, oh, it's worth it. You're patriotic. You're just going to have to eat paying a bit more. Says the fucking rich jackass who doesn't have to work hard to get by and survive. Just eat the price and deal with it. Yeah, you go tell people that on the reservation in third world conditions. You go tell that to an elderly couple that are disabled and can't work. You go tell that to kids whose parents are already working 4 jobs just to pay rent and don't have time to spend with them. Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. Elitist piece of shit.
Because what they're basically doing is raising prices so high, like in Venezuela and any other third world country that they want the Western world to be, that the people will be so like desperate for food and that they won't even bother like worried about what the rich elites are doing.
But they're actively killing people, going, "Oh, just eat it. If you do it, if you deal with this, you're patriotic." Tell that to a kid who's already only getting a meal a day because their parents can't pay the bills. Oh, it's worth it to stick it to Putin to just pay a bit more for your food and your gas. And by the way, the things that we're doing and the way we're going after Russia doesn't punish the nobility. We're shutting off funds and payments and all this stuff to people who are the average Russian citizens who have nothing to do with this and are already in need themselves.
Yeah, well, this is all about the Build Back Better, where they make every, 90% of the people so poor that they die.
Fucking hell, RR!
I hear that. I won't be so patriotic when a gram of weed costs $500. What's up, Snow?
Hey, Snow.
So, and just to kind of add on to what Rosetta was saying, see this right here? PayPal? People just like us doing YouTube and whatnot in Russia can no longer receive payment via PayPal.
And a lot of them are people who are already in poverty, disabled, or taking care of elderly parents, and they've just had their main income shut off.
Yeah, but that's the thing. When people virtue signal, they don't have to actually pay attention to what's really going on. The only thing they have to worry about is how hard they virtue signal and how it looks to all their idiotic friends who are not really paying attention to what they're doing. Because they don't care. They don't give a shit. They don't give a fuck about anybody like us. They damn sure don't give about the people who are fucking starving to death. They don't care about that. They just wanted to look good because they virtue signaled for something. And that's what you see all over fucking Twitter.
They virtue signal like a cheap horse sucks cock. I mean,
I don't know about that. I've seen some cheap whores that do some good work. But you know what? Twitter, I heard that Twitter is actually looking to reverse some of the way that they're doing business right now with a lot of these people that are on their sites, and they're looking to give a little bit more freedom to the users. Whether or not that's actually going to happen or not is something to actually watch out for. But the way they're talking about it, they felt like they've taken too much of an overstep in the way they're policing Twitter, and they're looking to try to reverse some of that and make it not so much a platform anymore, but an actual free speech site again for people talking. I would love to see that happen. That would be nice. I'm not going to hold my breath for it.
Yeah, well, there's always that sort of tighten and loosening sort of grip on it, and so it obviously
that's what she said.
Yeah. Well, don't let her do too much, because the end goal is to do it so tight that you just can't do anything.
Usually I approve of things being tight, but in this case, fuck them. I mean,
yeah,
but not in a good way.
Yeah, that's the problem. If they're tight in this way, they're not fuckable because they're just hard asses. I mean,
yeah, remember old Indian proverb: if thing too tight, use Lando Lake butter, loosen up.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Holy fuck! Please send me that one, Tommy, so I can remember it to send to my dad, please.
Yeah. Make sure you pay attention. I'll be getting canceled next week because of that.
Oh no! If they think that's bad, they should hear half of the Indian jokes my dad tells. I'm not fucking kidding.
Hey, appreciate it, Blair to Blair. I'll check that out. Thank you.
Thank you very much for contributing to our sweet shellback, one of the biggest pain in the ass turtles in the world. I mean, and we love him that way.
What? Wait, what? What do you mean, RR? It's a scandemic.
It's a global scamdemic, courtesy of the global grifting oligarchs.
No, they wouldn't do that to us. They wouldn't do that to us.
Oh, the fuck they wouldn't. I mean,
oh, look at that! You see, you mentioned the Russian bots, and there goes one right now.
Yeah.
Vesvidanya.
oh,
I got it. Vesvidanya.
That was a hell of a timing, actually. That was beautiful timing.
I love giving the boot to the bots.
I do it too. I like obsessively on every channel I have a wrench on.
That's the only thing I really do anymore since I really stopped doing all the links and all the other stuff, you know, because I got my own things to worry about. I don't have time to be doing that on 50 million channels anymore. So if I stop in, I'll at least give the bots the boot.
Ken Jack Ben, I've actually been there. Back in my Navy days, we went to crap. I'm drawing a blank now. Anyway, the Air Force Base near there. Even though I was Navy, you know, I was in aviation, and yeah, my squadron spent a little time at the Air Force Base, and I got to go to Six Flags while I was there in Vallejo.
I was just gonna say, I remember Tommy when he was the unmovable wrench everywhere. God, I remember you when I did that homecoming stream right after I lost my grandpa, and all of the freaking Breebots showed up talking smack about his death. And Tommy went ballistic and chat, bitch slapping them all around for like an hour.
How many of the biggest companies in the world got more rich because of this nonsense? Well, let me tell you.
Big corporate.
It's one of the reasons why. Freaking Mr. Potato Head and his administration are picking a fight with Russia instead of China. Is because like 50%, if not more, probably more like 80%. Of the crap we see on our store shelves have a little tag called "Made in China." Like I couldn't tell you how many boxes that I look at work every night when I'm at work that say "Made in China," you know, or if they're made somewhere else, but you know, with products made from, you know, or pieces made from China, or the other way around, you know, it's like, oh, made in Taiwan, you know, but with stuff from China, you know, but yet, you know, the big bad bear, you know, Russian bear, you know, they're the problem, you know, not the not the Chinese with you know, their nice little you know, Uyghur day camps and whatnot.
Well, Shellback, I think you got it all wrong. China is your friend. Let me tell you something. They have some of the most wonderful electronic components and people that are partially electronic that you could ever sleep with, and there is nothing wrong with that, my friend. Just get on board with old Pando Lando right here, and I will show you the way that China is your friend.
I was just going to say I have a problem with both Russia and China for different reasons, and they're honestly quite in bed with each other in a lot of ways. But the inconsistency, again, as you're pointing out, it's one over the other. It's whichever benefits them is what they support. Whatever doesn't benefit them is what they go fuck you to and virtue signal over. And it's all hypocrisy. They have no actual morals or standards because if they did, they'd apply it fucking equally.
And yes, Ken Jack Ben, Travis. Yes, it was Travis Air Force Base.
Boy, I am in a mood tonight.
You know,
they're trying to get more going though, aren't they? Between like US and Russia, and so that's why they're trying to make out like, oh yeah.
Did any of you guys, which I mean, you know, maybe not Jens, you know, because you know he probably doesn't give a shit. But I have heard of people on your side of the pond, Jens, that do take the time to watch things like the State of the Union address over here in the States. Did any of you guys watch the State of the Union?
Well, I saw bits of it, but fucking Biden talks a load of shit, and he was just going to talk a load of shit, wasn't he? Because he was rambling. There was that bit where he fucked up the ruble. He called it the ruble or something. The Russian currency called the
The
ruble.
ruble?
Yeah.
What doesn't he fuck up?
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't watch it, but I have seen a couple of clips,
Yeah.
and I thought it was funny how apparently Kiev or Kiev, however you want to pronounce it. I've heard the proper pronunciation is Kiev, but for years and years and years I heard it called Kiev.
Yeah.
But anyway, apparently the capital of Ukraine is in Iran, because he referred to, he actually said the word Iranians instead of Ukrainians
Yeah.
during the speech. And then Nancy Pelosi was doing that freaking creepy little, freaking
hand rubbing.
the like the rack, like she's a damn raccoon,
I think though she wanted to piss, right? Because when you want to piss and that, because she's drinking all the time, the best thing to do is stand up and try and do something to, get your mind off needing a piss. And that's what I think she wanted to do. I think that's what she was doing.
Well,
no,
I don't know.
I will say she wants the piss in the face. How about that? She wants the piss in her face. How's that?
No.
And on that note, I'm going to be it for the night. Good night, guys.
Be well, Rosetta.
Bye, guys.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if anybody else noticed this. This is one of the reasons that I don't really trust a lot of course, what the mainstream is saying. But when they sit there and say Ukraine, 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 I mean, I wonder how much you can actually trust that. Because you think about every other time that the U.S. has supplied some country or some organization with weapons prior to any kind of invasion or any kind of attack, how well that has worked out. I mean, you think about the shit that they did in Afghanistan with not the Taliban, but the damn it, I forget their name. They're the ones that took back over Afghanistan recently. But we supplied them.
The Taliban.
Well, no,
the Taliban
the bigger organization that the Taliban spun off of.
ISIS?
No. The bigger organization. I don't know why I'm blanking on it. I was talking to somebody about it earlier, and I had the name right on the top of my head, and I don't have it on the top of my head now. But anyway, we supplied them.
Hamas?
No.
Well, that's Palestine. Whatever.
Well, it doesn't even really. It doesn't really make that much of a difference right now, anyway. But we've supplied them with weapons, and we've seen that happen over and over again with these other countries, these third world countries, where America has supplied them weapons, supposedly helped them fight an aggressor, and then all of a sudden, those people turned against the United States. They did the same thing in Iraq because they supplied Iraq with weapons when originally Kuwait was attacking them. Then, Iraq became the aggressor.
Yeah, well, it's all about money, though, isn't
it? Over again, and before this invasion happened, there's already articles out there where they were talking about the U.S. was supplying Ukraine with weapons prior.
Well, that's all about the money, sort of like, because in peacetime, not much action goes down, property ain't destroyed. Where in wars,
there it is. I'm sorry, Jens, but real quick, Brahma Bull got it. Al Qaeda. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I was blanking on that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jens. Go ahead.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just saying, it's one of them where to start wars and that you can sell like lots of stuff, like body armor, guns, tank equipment, missiles, and then you can like sell them after they've torn the part in that, and there's not much fighting in that, then you can start selling them sort of like holiday homes.
And both of you guys, have used the magic word, right? Guns, right?
Yeah.
And the same people in the States that are trying to tell me and Tommy that we can't have an AR-15 with a 30-round magazine or more, right? They're telling us we can't have that. Are the same people that are cheering on the people of Ukraine getting handed AK-47s.
Yeah, they said something on the lines of, "Oh yeah, the people of Ukraine need guns to fight for the borders and that." It's like, but if you're in America and you've got a gun and you want to fight for your borders, hell, fuck no.
Right.
But the Ukrainians, okay, yeah. But that's
And
because
there's this. There's this too. Zelensky, right? Zelensky was put in power by Obama, basically.
Yeah.
According to the quote unquote, lack of a better term, conspiracy theories.
Well, no, but we'll show back. There's that clip, isn't there, where Biden's like, and I said to him, if they don't replace that judge or lawyer or whatever it was, you're not getting the money. And by God, an hour later, he was expelled because I forget it. Exactly who he wanted expelling. I think it was some kind of fucking reporter, judge, sort of.
It was definitely a judge, Jens. I do recall what you're talking about. I don't remember the name offhand, but he didn't like the judge because it wasn't going to go the way he wanted it to go.
Yeah. And so he wasn't going to give the money that, like, it wasn't even his money. It was America's money that they was giving in aid relief, and Biden stated, unless that judge is fired, you ain't getting a penny. To him.
RR brings up another good point about. Well, he says this can end tomorrow if Ukraine follows the accord and does not join NATO or the EU and stays an independent country. But that's not what the globalists want. So we get the shit show.
Yeah. Because there was getting like Ukraine, like all like the government and that to put like all these warheads and that shit in their country and that, and so yeah, fucking Putin I think went in and cleared them out and probably put his like dudes in who aren't going to put any. But now there's a bit of a debate now, isn't there, sort of thing. But the Ukrainian people, though, most of them seem like, right, well, as long as we don't try and stop fucking Putin, like taking out the fucking globalist puppets, everything should be all right.
Speaking of globalist puppets, it's Immortal Coil.
What is happening?
What up,
savages?
Yeah, well,
I'm just kidding. Immortal is probably anything but a global or whatever the hell I just said.
I'll tell you what, Shellback, you need to watch out this guy. Harry's a real straight shooter. He does a better job at it than I do. I mean, this guy's a real crack shot. I mean, you picked the perfect person to have on this panel.
Well, I've been an admirer of the show from afar, and just thought I'd stick my neck in and see what's going on. How you find gentlemen doing?
Oh, we're just having a nice little bitch session here. You got any thoughts?
Well, for a conflict that's happening a global way, it's kind of fucked up that we have to pay, whatever, $4.15 a gallon. But I think that's by design. The last time we had a conflict similar, not the same kind of thing, but along the same lines, was the Iraq War. And you remember, I mean, they didn't quite do it this deceptively, but they sold a bunch of cars that were like, 13, 12 bucks, miles per gallon for 0% financing for whatever. And then the gas prices went to north of $4 once more. So it's just one of those things. Every time they want to press their advantage, we're seen to be made to suffer.
Right.
And all those $15 an hour people, how you feeling now? How's that working out for you?
Well, that's one of the discussions I know we've had before. Like every time, and we were talking about it earlier too. Like once you start raising the minimum wage like that, all these corporations have to make their money back somehow. They're damn sure not going to sit there and take cuts themselves. So what are they going to do? They're going to raise the prices on all their products. As they raise the prices of all their products, the companies who are supplying these companies with the raw materials to make their prices have to raise their products. The people who are delivering the shit have to raise their prices because gas went up or this went up or that went up.
Right.
And it's a never-ending cycle of like, how bad can the people who were crying they weren't making enough money, how bad can they get fucked in the end? And then you know what's going to happen at the very end of this? They're just going to cry some more that we're not making enough money. And then this cycle winds up repeating itself again until you get somebody in that has a little bit of common sense. Like, you know what? Screw it. If you're not making enough money at the current job that you're in, go get an education, go learn a fucking skill, go get a job that is actually going to pay you more money. Stop sitting at Burger King or Walmart and expect to make big money. It's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
Raising the minimum wage is like the worst thing that they can do, because it's just like you just been saying, they raise the minimum wage and then but it doesn't do any good, because then they just raise the price of everything, so you're still right where you were, you're as far as being able to afford shit.
When all these people talking about, yay socialism, again, how's that working for you? You see what happens?
Perfect example of what socialism can accomplish.
Yeah. You're sitting there farming for your fellow man, and what happens when somebody with a AK comes over and says, you know what, this is my farm now?
Yeah, socialism well, as long as there's money. But once the money goes, that's when socialism gets to the Mad Max sort of place.
Do you think at some point we're going to be knocking over other cars off the road and taking their gas?
Well, I don't think, because I think the Western, we have that sort of like, when things go bad, some people look after themselves, but in a Western Christian society, when things go bad, we try to like look after each other. But I think there will be like little communities sort of like build up like underground, like in Demolition Man, eating rat burgers.
Well, I think we're about a week out from seeing a bunch of dumbasses blowing themselves up trying to, drink gasoline and spit it back into their,
Oh, yeah, I did that once.
Did you?
Yeah, and it was one of them where, because when you siphon it, like it was my car. Well, I say my car. It was not some stranger's car. It was someone up I know, and that, yeah. So like, because he couldn't do it, because it was one of them where you have to suck real hard, don't you? And then there's that bit where. I know. Well, hey,
You got to find your buddy with the best sucking skill.
Yeah. For a good time, call Jens Petter.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. Jens Petter can suck like a champ.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's one of them. You have to suck it enough that you get a bit of a trickle going in that, and so some of it did go in my mouth and that, and then like, oh
man.
Yeah,
Tommy's
usually you
hack
charge.
show up. No.
Did you charge extra for that, Jens?
What? I swallowed a little bit, I think, and all.
Well, if you suck that hard, you're gonna get more than a trickle.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a line.
Yeah, it was probably about 2 or 3 drops worth. But you know when it's somewhat like so foul, it fucking seemed like fucking. Like,
so did you spit it out and say that you're still a man?
More than it's real masculine. You drink fucking, as you Americans call it, gas, but we call it petrol.
No, I you know what though, Jens, I do know what you're talking about, and now this was my experience. I used to work as an auto mechanic. I worked for an auto mechanic for 7 years, and one time we had a car come in. They had to get a fuel pump replacement. This particular car, the way the fuel pump was located, it was located underneath the chassis, so you had to drain the entire tank out. And this jerk off brought it in with a full tank of fucking gas. So you had to drain the gas out, then drop the tank down to be able to get the damn fuel pump off the top of it so you could change it out. So in the process of like changing containers over as we're siphoning out the gas, because my boss had an actual siphon, like an automated siphon for it that just connected to a battery. So as I'm changing the hose out to the other bucket, the fucking tank just shifted a little bit. And when it shifted, the freaking hose shot a bunch of fuel out, hit me right in my face. Went right in my mouth, man. I remember I was gagging to death from that shit, man. The boss had to come out with a freaking hose of water and freaking hose me down with it because I couldn't see for a good, like, I don't know, good 10 minutes or more.
And that's fucking bad. Because I didn't get that much, but I got enough that my lungs felt like fucking real, like clean.
Tight.
And that.
They get real tight and shit.
Yeah, but real fucking. Oh, yeah, I had to like fucking thingy, and that was just with the drop. So yeah, if you're getting a full, and luckily enough, because I was just doing the normal pipe in the tank, and I had one of them Jimmy can things because the mate wanted it for his bike. So anyway.
Bit of advice for you. Yeah. Bit of advice for you from Steven there, Jens.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to. But you get them fire breathers, don't you? That obviously must get a little bit of. But it is sort of like watered down, I think.
It's like 90% ethanol.
Yeah.
These days they actually make a. It's basically like a little hand pump or whatever. Like you know, it's got a little crank on the side of it, and
she likes that. Huh?
It will it will do the same job as you trying to give it some oral.
Yeah, but we was talking about being in a like apocalypse society where having electric fucking pumps is probably not going to be more. It's going to be more like you got to cut some pipe off some fucking electric fucking wiring, bang that in up. There's no walls.
So I wonder about this, guys. Along with the raise in gasoline, are we going to see a rise in ammo? And are you guys stockpiled and all that kind of stuff?
I've got 2 guns, but they're on my arms and that, and because I live in Britain, ammo. I was like, it'd be one of them in Britain where if it all kicks off in that, it'll be like a fucking like ninja festival there'll be samurai swords and fucking kitchen knives going everywhere.
I was gonna say you guys gotta have a damn license just to have a BB gun over there, don't you?
No.
You do in New Jersey. Actually, I think they banned BB guns in New Jersey at one point because I lived up there. They were actually talking about putting a ban on paintball guns.
Although, actually, though, so I don't think you need a license if you're using it in your backyard or your own private property. But you might need a license if you're going like rabbit hunting or something. Because they're air rifles, if you know what I mean, where they shoot like little bullets, but they can kill like rabbits and that if you fucking get them in the head.
Yeah, like a pellet gun.
Yeah.
Because like you have your like 22 or 2.2 and or your 177s.
Yeah, so I had one when I was a kid, and I'd pump it until like I couldn't pump anymore. Like that last pump.
Yeah.
That last pump, my arm was like shaking, trying to get it, and then when I pulled the trigger, it sounded like a damn 22 rifle,
Yeah. Well, you can get ones nowadays where you have little gas calendars in, and so you basically
CO2
have to do it once. Just pump it once, and then the gas. CO2 gas. Canisters, and you get a good I think 100 shots out of it until it
Well, that depends on the seal with the gun, because sometimes the seals on those guns are just off just a little bit, so maybe a little bit of CO2 is leaking out. I actually have one that looks like an Uzi was like that. It would leak just a little bit of CO2, so I wouldn't get as many shots out of it as I should have.
Yeah. If you've got a fucking one that's working properly, then it won't leak. But if you've got like a bit of a dodgy thing,
but Coil. So me personally, right now, all I have is a 410 bolt action shotgun, and a box of 25 shells for it. But they're like what? It's not double out buck, which I don't think I could shoot double out buck out of mine anyway, because it's a choke barrel.
Right.
It's got a but I found a box of shells with the fewest amount of shot in it. I think it's like 4 shot. So they're basically, just 4 really huge freaking BBs inside this shell, and they're like max load. So they've got the biggest, they got the biggest size of shot in them, basically, with the most gunpowder behind them. So even if it's one at a time, you won't be happy if I freaking hit you with one. But and I was gonna do it today, but the store is closed. But so tomorrow, I plan on after I have a breakfast burrito or two, I'm gonna get in my little Honda Civic Coupe, and I'm gonna drive to the next town over, and I am going to purchase, knock on wood, I'm going to purchase a Sig Sauer M18. It's the full nomenclature, whatever you want to say, is P320 M18. So basically, it's a 9mm with that is actually currently used by the military. That's why it's called the M18. But it's like a 12 or 15 round magazine in it normally. So there's plenty there's plenty of chances for me
hit the share screen tab.
Well,
what's that?
You can always buy longer clips, can't you? Extra loads.
Yeah, hit the share screen, Shell.
Yeah.
I found an image of what you're talking about.
I'll tell you what. If it comes to that, though, you know what I got for him, Coil?
What's that, buddy?
I've got some old black powder handguns with some dirty ass lead balls to shoot at people.
The kind that the forefathers talked about.
Exactly. Yeah, I got some of that just to cause a little bit of extra damage. Hopefully, maybe they can get some gangrene from it or something.
Fucking A.
Yeah, the Second Amendment doesn't mean that you need, when they made the Second Amendment, they had musket rifles and, black powder guns.
Yeah, because that was the most advanced tech at the time.
Right.
That's the thing, though, it says arms. I'm sure, like lasers, like whatever the fuck Arnold tried to buy, the T-800.
Right, yeah.
The fucking 400-watt plasma rifle.
Right. By the time they come out with freaking lightsabers and laser guns, those will be covered under the Second Amendment as well.
Absolutely, and that's like saying all they had was ink wells and quills to write. So aren't cell phones and computers and all that shit. And suddenly, when it's your amendment that they're gunning for, it's like, well, that's unconstitutional. Well, and I'm sorry, Jens, you don't have a Second Amendment.
Yeah. Well, we do have some guns and that, because I was saying, if you got a farm, you're allowed a shotgun to like.
Okay. So what constitutes a farm? Like if I'm just growing some parsley on my window ledge, is that a farm?
Yeah, no. I think it's got no. Yeah, no. I think you've got to have like some kind of like livestock maybe, and I think you'd have to have like, what do you call it? Where you're selling stuff, so you're a legit farm. You're not just someone who's got themselves a. Although I think maybe if you have got yourself a little private farm, you could.
Well, so I want to find out how many chickens it takes to get a shotgun, and you can just call it the cock farm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
12. 13.
13. All right.
I would say it's not how many chickens you got. I think it's how many you sell and you pay tax on, because then you'll be classed as a business.
So you probably need like a government stamp or something.
Yeah. I think you might do it, but yeah. You can get like crossbows though, and you can. I think it's 150 pound draw. You're allowed,
and that's nothing to sneeze at. Actually, a crossbow is not a bad weapon.
Yeah. But and you're allowed bows and all. But I think the same goes. Like you aren't allowed it over 150 pounds of pressure.
Okay. Hey, Tommy.
Yeah.
Would you like to address this?
No. We're just going to send out messaging to those pigs. And poor Ken Jackman, I'm so sorry. You're going to be losing toes. It's just the way it works. The Guinea Pig Collective is interconnected with all the guinea pigs. I'm so sorry. RR made a good point too. Second Amendment bad. but handing out fully automatic assault rifles to unvetted people in Ukraine is A-okay. Let's go, Brandon.
Right?
As long as you stand with them.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, the same people that want to prevent us from having AR-15s are just head over heels with the idea of handing out AKs to every Ukrainian that holds out their hand.
Yeah, well, it's because AR-15s are fully black, but the
they're
AKs
big
have
and
that
black
nice
and
wood
scary,
furniture. Yeah, makes them less scary.
Yeah, black guns matter. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
They
Oh,
do.
Punk Waddle, what's going on? Welcome.
But but no, yeah, and the one I looked at, or the one I'm gonna try and get, look just like that, except
Didn't
it
have
doesn't.
the optics.
It doesn't come with the optics.
Mm.
That you have to buy that separately. But it's and I was talking to the guy, and he's like, yeah, well, it's better to like build your proficiency with just the iron sights.
The iron, yeah, absolutely.
And then if you wanna mess with with a red dot or something, but
Yeah,
he taught me a trick though. He taught me a trick. So this gentleman just so happened to be an Army veteran, right? And
he didn't give you too much shit about being Navy, did he?
Yeah, no. It was all cool. What's funny? Guess what his name is? Guess what his name is?
Seaman.
No, Brandon.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Right on. Let's go.
And right, yeah. Anyway, so that gun, the how it's like, hold on, do you still have it back there?
Yeah, let me fire it back up.
What? Well, see if you can find a picture with a view of the ass end. Like if you were holding it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people were stopping at Ken Jackman. I mean, I know there was a big thing about that here in the States about 3D printers making guns.
Oh yeah, and well, that's nothing new. I mean, they've been doing that for years. Making freaking guns out of plastic. That you can sneak through metal detectors and shit.
Mm-hmm.
What was that film where the dude does it like that is like the main part of the film, that he makes a plastic gun and he gets it through security and that.
Dude, there's been several movies like that.
Yeah. It's like started like
Yeah, but the problem with those is they're only good for like a few shots, and it's going to melt apart.
Yeah, I was gonna say, otherwise you'd still have to use a steel barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have to use an incredibly low yielding grain in order to even be able to fire it once, or else that damn thing would just blow apart.
Yeah, he could only have 2 bullets in it.
It's the P365, correct, Shaw?
No, P320.
320, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, P320 18.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it could have been In the Line of Fire with Clint Eastwood.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Yeah, because I'm sure at the end of that he has to protect someone, and that's they get a plastic gun through. I'll have a look actually.
Okay, I'm almost there. I'm actually trying to find a site picture, which is closer to what you're talking about, and hopefully everybody else is a gun geek like we are.
Well, while you're looking at it, I guess I can go ahead and tell the story or whatever.
Yeah.
So, how it's kind of like a two-tone brown or whatever.
Yeah.
And So, all right, let's see.
So this is obviously the civilian model, but it has
it doesn't have it. It doesn't have a hammer. It doesn't have a hammer like that.
Nah.
No,
The internet's lying to me. Okay.
No. That's fine. I can still use that picture.
Well,
just pull that picture back up.
Hang on, this might be better. 320 compact 9mm. This one's probably better. Hang on. An image. All right.
Yeah, I hear you, Stephen, about zip guns. Yeah. I remember my father telling me stories about zip guns, and I seen Ken Jackman talking about the spotlight on keeping guns from people. Absolutely.
Yeah. Ken Jackman.
Well, that's good enough. Basically, the center, right? Just the very center of the back of the gun there. He's like, if you put that, if you cover whatever you're trying to shoot at, if you put that little area of the back of the gun right over what you're shooting at, because that's right in line with the barrel. He's like, that he's like that's a proficient way to do like a basically like a quick draw type of situation. Like if just like a Wild West freaking gun slinging shit.
You shouldn't even use. You should be doing Christian Bale fucking kung fu sort of thing, where he don't even look down the barrel, just shoots from the hip and like shoots from the back of his head.
That's actually a legitimate thing because this is weird. I work for an armored car delivery service, and they actually sent me out to take my gun test. So I was going to be licensed to carry a gun. I turned it down because the son of the bitches were only going to give me 50 cents more an hour when they were hiring new drivers for $1 more an hour. But either way, so they actually had something in the test where you got to do a couple where you fully draw and you fire. And they also had one where you're supposed to just draw from the holster and turn at your hip and shoot.
Yeah.
So there is a hip shot that they actually do require in the standard testing.
Yeah, well, if you're a cowboy, that's the first thing you got to have to be a quick draw McGraw sort of thing.
Hey there, mutant Bam Hammer. I want you almost want to say Banhammer, but or mutant Bumhummer. I don't know. Anyway, welcome. Appreciate you being here. But yeah, no, he's like, you just take it and put that little square over whatever it is you're wanting to shoot and pull the trigger. And he's like, you're pretty much guaranteed to hit it. But
well, you got get them lined up and all between like the two other little dot things in it, because the good thing about that gun was like the proper add your aim points to like be like, oh yeah, because sometimes when the gun's a black metal and that, if you're shooting at a white target, then you're all right. But if you're shooting at a dark target, you fucking can't really see the lineup and that, where they put little white dots on it. So if you are shooting at a black target, you still can line up your shot.
But no, if you're shooting at a black target, you're a racist.
That's right.
I was waiting for it.
Shit, you fucking found me out on you bastard. I thought I was gonna be like getting away with it for the rest of my life, but no. Shellback found me out. I like shooting at black targets, but
were you involved in the Jussie Smollett case by any chance?
Oh, that was some Jamaicans. Right. Here we go, Shellback. Can you share this screen? Because there's the one in the line of fire where he's made himself that plastic gun. It only shoots 2 bullets, but he only needs it because he's going to shoot, I think, someone and then shoot himself and that. Well, I think.
That's basically like a. That's basically like a double barrel shotgun.
Yeah,
Style.
more like a. I would say.
Dillinger.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. A Derringer.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just talking about like a freaking double barrel shotgun. It's it's all you got is 2 shots, one for each barrel.
Yeah. Well, like as I say, it's made out of plastic and that, and so the only thing it can have is 2 shots. Because I think
It's not Captain Janeway, is it? Kind of looks like her, like a hot version.
No, it's Aero Weapon 4.
Okay.
I forget her name. Wait there though.
I don't know.
Is it?
I mean, not that Janeway was like ugly, but 7 of 9 and
B'Elanna.
what was the little pixie looking gal?
Oh, Cass.
Yeah. Those 2 were the eye candy.
Oh yeah.
But I think her name's Rennie Russo. I think that's her name.
Renee Russo. Okay.
Oh, Renee Russo is a MILF. She is.
I think that's her there.
She can get it.
Yeah.
Bamhammer says Janeway was the Donald Trump of Star Trek captains.
What? I hope that's not meant as an insult.
I hated Voyager. Absolutely hated it.
I mean, I liked it all right, but like, as far as I mean, I was I've been around for 51 years. I was born in 71, so the original series, even though it was off the air, it was still on the air in syndication. So, I did, quote unquote, grow up with the original series, but like for my quote unquote my Star Trek was TNG, and that started in the late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And so that and DS9 and then Voyager, and I would I used to be all about TNG, and then when when the Dominion War started on DS9, oh shit, that's what it was about.
I always said when Cisco shaved his head, that's when that show got good.
Yeah. Well, my like Worf. Okay, so Worf is my boy.
Oh yeah.
Out of this, out of this generation of Trek, of good Trek, I should say, because you say this generation of Trek and people think freaking Klutzman Trek. But I just Michael Dorn. I love the character Worf, and to me, Worf, Worf had some good stuff on TNG, but that character really started to shine on DS9.
You know what? Between Michael Dorn, early on, that's all you've seen really for the most part, show after show with him. But when they brought in the character of Gowron, I like that character, that Klingon character too, because he was just dirty, he was nasty, he was mean, he was underhanded. I liked it.
He's got those eyes.
Yeah, he had the crazy eyes.
Right. You know what? I have a theory. I have a theory that AOC is Gowron's great whatever grandmother or something. That he inherited her eyes.
Yeah, she wasn't even in Washington on the 6th of January, and she was scared she was going to get raped.
Yeah, she was afraid for her life though from the freaking pipe bombs or whatever.
Yeah.
The
You want to yell at a parked car? That's about the biggest one I can think of.
Friggin' a damn insurrection where everybody, well, not everybody, but an insurrection where the vast majority of the people stayed within the velvet ropes.
Yeah. Well, they want to make everybody look like a buffalo head motherfucker, and that just ain't the case.
Dude, that guy, I'm sorry, but I mean, if you're gonna freaking, if you're gonna go to a shindig like that, fucking A, freaking cosplay your ass off,
Well, I heard that guy was playing on both sides of the fence too.
No,
Yeah.
well, the kill
gas too.
Because like that kill shaman dude, he admitted and took like 3 years, I think he got, but he admitted to like violating whatever law and that. He got 3 years.
I want to know what happened to the dude that sat in Nancy Pelosi's chair.
Oh yeah, I think he got arrested.
He probably had to go to the doctor.
Because
I was going to say, I'm more, I'm not so concerned about him, about his legal troubles in that matter. I'm just wondering, if he might have, like if he caught cooties or anything,
Right.
I think he wound up at Epstein's cell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
He got a vicious case of cunt disease.
Well, I hope they. I hope he didn't, tie some sheets together with himself. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, Ken Jackman, you sitting there talking about the old Star Trek game. So you remember that the one where they actually had you were supposed to be on a Klingon ship to learn the language.
Gowron was in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like an old PC game.
You talking about this comment or the other one?
The next one down.
That I played. Yeah. Yeah.
I think I might have brought that back from my father's house, actually, because you're supposed to be able to learn how to speak Klingon in it.
Did it work?
To a degree.
Okay.
I don't remember all of it, but...
Yeah, it depends how long you played the game, though, innit?
Well, that's part of the problem, because it's PC only. Once everything started updating and, that old DOS system was no longer usable on the newer computers, you couldn't really play it anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
The video games came in like a big, like, dictionary-sized box, and there was like 10 discs to upload.
And big, thick-ass instruction manuals that you could beat your siblings with.
Dude. So we're talking about Trek games. The 25th anniversary TOS game. That was my Trek game, man. It was like really simple and kind of cartoony, but damn, I loved it.
Well, that's a cool little bit of trivia. The Emperor Kalis person narrated some Outer Limits.
Did not know that.
But
Kalis, the test tube baby.
So, it's like getting pretty close to
yelling, yeah.
To the actual yelling at parked cars.
Well, that's your opinion.
So, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I hope we sufficiently entertained our audience, and
it was brilliant.
Brilliant.
Come back. Please come back again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, and whatever's going on. If it's the same stuff going on, we'll probably talk some more about it. But maybe there might be something, something new that
I've got the regala.
But
with this administration, there's always going to be something new, Shellback. No worries.
But anyway, I appreciate everybody tuning in, and we will see you later. Wait a minute, no, actually, before we go,
fill up your gas tank before it gets any higher.
Right. I should ask these fine gentlemen if they have anything to plug before we go. Besides the siphon hose.
Yeah. I had to do it because it was one of them where my mate he had like a car in that and it had petrol in it, and my other mate he had a moped that was running out of petrol, and so he said, "Oh yeah, siphon a bit," but the mate who wanted it for his bike couldn't do it, and so I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll show you how it's done." But anyway, well, cheers, Shellback. Yeah, I've got like a video will be coming up on my channel, Jens Pedder and that, about the Batman film, my views on it and that. And then today, sort of Tuesday, well, today for me.
Yeah, you're in the future, we know.
Yeah. But Tuesday or maybe tomorrow, Wednesday, I'll be doing a live stream where I'll just have people on and that, send out links to people if you want to come on and that, talk about it. It'd probably be about the Batman film, see if there's anyone who wants to talk about it. But if not, then yeah, do a other subject. And then on Wednesday at 12 o'clock a.m. in like Wednesday night, Thursday morning, I do me James Bond film reviews where I'm up to The Man with the Golden Gun. I think so, yeah. And I've got a Twitter at 278 Pedersen.
Right on.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Tommy, Coyle? When?
Yeah. Go ahead, Cole.
What's happening, YouTube? My name is Immortal Coil, your oracle of whiskey mysticism. You can find me Wednesday on my channel where I do this little thing called The Savage Perspective. Just going over the news of the weird, the shit no one else wants to talk about, or the shit that kind of gets skirted along side the mainstream. I've been paying attention to a couple of weird things going on in like Star Trek land and Quantum Leap land. So yeah, come on over. We'll get savage. We'll have a beer. We'll bullshit. Thank you.
Awesome. And I want to thank everybody that stopped by the chat for Shellback. I know Shellback's probably going to get to that, but I figure I start thanking people anyway. Thank you all for being here and making the night that much more special for us. All the comments that you guys have been leaving have been amazing. Even if we didn't have a chance to read every single one of them, we've seen every single one of them. At least I know I did. I'm pretty sure Shellback did as well. Thank you to everybody who's been on the panel, man. Always great to be able to get on with Immortal Coil. I hardly ever have a chance to do that because of the time differences.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Jens, my buddy from Going Old School Retro Discussions, always on every single week. And Shellback is always stopping by whenever he can. You guys have been awesome. Remember, you've been here with also the most hated guinea pig on YouTube, taking no prisoners, telling people exactly how it is, even if they don't like it, because I just don't give a shit. And you can catch me again tomorrow. Usually I'm over on Drew's channel on the the Underground Resistance on Supreme Heretics channel, where we get a lot more in depth with some of the politics stuff. And of course, following Red Gazes to Probe on Thursday at 7:45 p.m., Vinny, Art, and I have a stream called Collectible Past, presented by United Underground, where we talk about a lot of the retro toys and the toys that they were based off that we really do appreciate what some of these companies are doing. Remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not watch, because your silence gives consent. Thank you, Shellback.
Hey,
sir. And I do appreciate each and every single person who tuned in, and it just makes things a little bit more funner when people show up. Have a good night, everybody. See you next week.
Bye.